Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and the Avengers burst open the Marvel Cinematic Universe with proud fan service, self-aware humor, and cool collaborative action. Really, I guess just things collaborating off Cap's S.H.I.E.L.D. And it set Thanos on a warpath to killing half these freaks. Well, none of these freaks, since they're the important freaks. In these post-Endgame times, let us now appreciate the Avengers' sharp attention to detail by paying attention to the details. And thanks to Privacy.com for sponsoring this episode. If you sign up now at Privacy.com/NewRockstars, you can get $5 today to use on any purchase online. Okay, the Marvel Studios title reveals it's within the Tesseract, literally framing all of this within Infinity Stones. Loki returns with an army of Chitauri. Loki's thrilling comeback here introduces the Avengers' deeper theme of redemption. In order to avenge anything, you must first lose it. The Avengers aren't undefeated studs, they're dirty misfit toys who rally at halftime.
Because if we can't protect the Earth, you can be damn well sure we'll avenge it.
And we open on Project Pegasus, researching the Tesseract recovered by Howard Stark. Captain Marvel actually revealed how Pegasus was used to help the Skrulls in the in-between period, and it's believed that the helicarrier cloaking tech might have come from those Skrulls. Nick Fury, Coulson, and Maria Hill meet Clint Barton, Hawkeye, and Erik Selvig, and Loki arrives. He now looks paler, his eyes darker. He's less of the Shakespearean prince, now straight up evil.
An ant has no quarrel with a boot.
And that line, of course, comes back later.
Ant, boot.
Loki uses his scepter's Mind Stone to flip Clint, Selvig, and S.H.I.E.L.D. soldiers, and they escape. And then Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, faces Luchkov, an enemy in the comics, and Coulson calls her, and on his screen is the name Stephen Morton, one of the VFX artists for the film. Natasha tracks down Bruce Banner, now recast as Mark Ruffalo, and he hints at the secret to his anger management.
Avoiding stress isn't the secret.
We later learn his big secret, his control over his anger, is what that Incredible Hulk final shot was actually all about. Natasha briefs him on the Tesseract.
What does Fury want me to do? Swallow it?
Actually, swallowing the Tesseract is exactly what Fury had Goose do. Some of the agents outside have blue glowing weapons, foreshadowing S.H.I.E.L.D's secret agenda to build on Hydra's mission of Tesseract-powered weaponry. Fury convenes with the board, including Gideon Malik, who also shows up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Which is why you should be focusing on Phase 2. It was designed for exactly
Phase 2 isn't ready.
In this movie, Phase 2 is the plan to roll out Tesseract-powered weapons, but it's also, of course, a nod to the Marvel Studios Phase 2 schedule, which would begin after this movie. Steve Rogers boxes. Now, many believe this is Daredevil's Fogwell's gem, but, that really isn't specified. Cap bursts a bag, a nod by director Joss Whedon to his series Buffy. Notice the old-school file that Fury gives Cap. There's some barely readable text at the bottom, mentioning Mephisto and Infinity Gems. So Marvel released a redacted version of this, but the text doesn't really match what's in the movie. Mephisto is Marvel's devil figure, and in the Infinity Gauntlet comics, he is right at Thanos' side as he collects the Infinity Gems. This paragraph looks to me like an alternate backstory that Marvel was considering for the Infinity Saga storyline. Fury makes him a bet.
At this point, I doubt anything would surprise me.
$10 says you're wrong.
Later on the helicarrier, Cap follows through on the bet. Iron Man installs a power line to his new Stark Tower. Later, Loki will exploit this energy source to open the portal. Stark always builds the instruments of his own destruction. Actually, our first image of him is a close-up of his right gauntlet, the same hand that he will later use to permanently end this war that begins in this movie.
Good to go on this end. The rest is up to you.
Just like in Endgame, Tony was good to go, and now the rest is up to us. Tony has moved back to his home city of New York, and they added the tower over the MetLife building. Marvel actually got approval to include the Oscorp Tower in the city skyline, but the okay came after the VFX artist had already rendered everything. Tony and Pepper joke about how much credit she deserves.
You give yourself 12% credit.
12%?
An argument can be made for 15. We were having a moment.
I was having 12% of a moment.
There's actually a similar joke in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't know, 12%.
12%? Total conspiracy? Well, no, the numbers 12 and 17 tend to come up a lot in movies due to a screenwriting thing, with 12 being a one-syllable number more than 10 that doesn't slow down a joke's pacing, and 17 being a weirdly specific prime number that isn't too many of something. Stark tells Coulson,
You have reached the life model decoy of Tony Stark. Please leave a message.
life model decoys are android doubles from the comics. LMDs also show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And they discuss the tower's insecure elevator.
Security breach.
Tony will remember this breach when he sneaks back in here during the Endgame time heist. Pepper reveals that Coulson's first name is Phil.
His first name is Agent.
The first Iron Man script referred to Coulson only as Agent Coulson, no first name given, and Coulson's file includes footage from other Phase 1 MCU movies. Pepper and Tony ask Coulson about a cellist girlfriend.
Oh, I want to hear about the cellist. Is that still a thing?
She moved back to Portland.
What?
So I'm just saying, pick a weekend. I'll fly you to Portland.
This cellist is Audrey Nathan, and Coulson meets her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Coulson and Cap discuss the super soldier serum's connection to Hulk, and Cap misses his Stephen Hawking reference, along with almost every pop culture reference in this movie.
Make your move, reindeer games. What, Rock of Ages giving up so easily?
I don't remember it being that easy.
No hard feelings, Point Break. You got a mean swing.
And of course, Point Break comes back in Thor Ragnarok.
Point Break.
Welcome, Point Break.
But Cap does get flying monkeys.
To his personal flying monkeys.
I understood that reference.
Because, of course, Wizard of Oz came out in 1939 before Cap went in the ice. Coulson considers Old Man Cap to be an asset.
People might just need a little old-fashioned.
Fury brings up this description later when eulogizing Coulson.
It's an old-fashioned notion.
And Natasha uses similar wording for Banner later.
No, we could use a little worse.
During our Discord watch-along, our friend Teens revealed Johansson echoes Clark Gregg's exact cadence, which she learned from an audio dubbing project. Very cool. You can join our future watch-alongs by becoming a patron at patreon.com/newrockstars. Natasha wears red and black, Banner wears purple, their signature comic colors, and the bridge of the carrier with its rows of monitors and raised platforms was designed to reflect the wings of the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo. They discuss tracking Loki.
We're sweeping every wirelessly accessible camera on the planet. Cell phones, laptops.
Notice Cap here. Sitting right next to him is Sitwell, who shortly after uses facial recognition to find Loki.
We got a hit. 67% match.
Yeah, Cap doesn't feel right about how powerful S.H.I.E.L.D. is at spying on people. It's his core conflict in Winter Soldier when Sitwell is revealed as a Hydra agent, and Natasha's future alliance with Cap is hinted at later.
S.H.I.E.L.D. monitors potential threats.
Captain America's on threat
We all are.
Cap confronts Loki in Germany.
The last time I was in Germany and saw a man standing above everybody else, we ended up disagreeing.
And as he passes them, the liberated people start to stand up. Tony arrives calling back his AC/DC "Shoot the thrill" from Iron Man 2, but Thor interferes.
Throne would suit you ill.
These ravens are Hugin and Moonin, Odin's Earth spies. So Odin is watching his sons right here. They're birds! Marvel's Holy Trinity duke it out. Thor shocks Iron Man, but after fixing the Mark V's flaws, now the electric current is an asset.
Power at 400% capacity.
How about that?
Notice that the suit is at 475% power here, and then later in the movie, it is down to 312%, which if you think about it, means that Tony's battles in the movie's second act alone expended the energy equivalent of about 1.5 Iron Mans. This melee later inspires the big moves against Thanos. Stark channels Thor's lightning, and Cap uses the Mjolnir shield shockwave here to later knock Thanos down. And after detaining him, they discuss Loki.
That guy's brain is a bag full of cats. You could smell crazy on him.
Originally, Hulk's later fight with Loki was going to feature Loki projecting duplicates of himself, and Hulk was going to have to sniff out the real one using Loki's scent. Tony arrives wearing a Black Sabbath shirt, a nod to the band song, I Am Iron Man.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Yeah, best joke ever at the end of the scene. If you think about it, Tony's confrontation with the endlessly swarming Chitauri fleet through the portal is, in a sense, a game of Galaga. And by the way, we later got confirmation that Galaga guy was among the dusted. Tony tells Bruce,
Your work on anti-electron collisions is unparalleled.
in physics, the collisions of anti-electrons or positrons are what emit gamma radiation. Later, he tells Bruce,
That much gamma exposure should have killed you.
So you're saying that the Hulk, the other guy, saved my life? That's nice. It's a nice sentiment. Saved it for what?
Guess we'll find out.
You may not enjoy that.
yeah, and since Infinity Stones emit gamma radiation, Tony is talking about his future death. Tony also talks some shit on Cap.
That's the guy my dad never shut up about. Wondering if they shouldn't have kept him on ice.
Tony's grievance with Cap is tied in with his own daddy issue. Howard worshipped Cap and didn't give Tony enough love. And it's interesting how earlier Cap echoed this frustration with Howard over leaving things in the past.
Is there anything you can tell us about the Tesseract that we ought to know now?
You should have left it in the ocean.
Well, folks, more people than ever are working from home, shopping from home, schooling from home, letting the soothing sounds of Anthony Hopkins as Odin calm our anxiety from home. And with that extra time online, there's more opportunity than ever for hackers to steal your information or your money. Well, thanks to Privacy.com for sponsoring this video. Privacy lets you make online purchases using virtual burner cards for online purchases. This protects your identity and your bank information on the internet and lets you control the limits on each virtual card. That comes in handy with the streaming services or video conferencing apps that we're all using right now. So for example, I've set up an account with Privacy, I've linked my bank account, and I created a card specifically for my monthly Netflix subscription payment. Privacy will ding you with lightning fast precision if someone tries to charge that card twice, or if the charge exceeds the amount you set for it. No vendor can overcharge beyond the limit that you have set. It's simple, it's fast, it's really just one click. They also offer different plans. There's a free plan that lets you create up to 12 cards a month, a pro plan where you can get 36 cards a month and 1% cash back on purchases, and a Teams plan for small businesses. And there's a Privacy Chrome extension where you can fill out all of your card info to save time. One click and all your details are instantly entered. Head to privacy.com/newrockstars to sign up for an account. And as a special treat for my viewers, new customers will automatically get $5 to spend on your first purchase for a limited time only. Buy Odin's beard, that's free money! Go to privacy.com/newrockstars to sign up now. Okay, the Phase 2 weaponry Cap finds has Hydra logos, a smoking gun. That shield is effectively a regrown head of Hydra. And Natasha chats with Loki.
Can you wipe out that much red? Dracov's daughter? Sao Paulo? The hospital fire.
The Black Widow Prelude comics reveal General Dracov oversaw the Red Room, so maybe the movie will reveal Nat's past with his daughter. And then everyone fights.
Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play.
Everything special about you came out of a bottle.
Of course, these men prove each other wrong in the long run. Cap's strength comes from his own innate worthiness, and Tony, again and again in the MCU, makes the sacrifice play. Meanwhile, Banner gets dark.
I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out.
Actually, this suicide attempt was a deleted scene from the Norton Hulk film. And throughout these moments, the camera tilts into Dutch angles, pushing in on Loki's scepter and inverting, reflecting how the Mind Stone is corrupting everyone. The final framing even suggests the scepter is culling them, holding the Avengers by the neck. And right before the attack, Banner's computer reveals the Tesseracts in New York, explaining how he knows where to meet them. And had Tony not bitched at Cap here, Tony would have been able to stop the portal hours earlier and save countless lives. As Banner hulks out, behind him are the 15 words, warning, under pressure. And Nat tries to calm him down.
I swear on my life, I will get you out of this. You will walk away.
In Age of Ultron, Natasha continues to try to help Banner walk away from Hulk. And as we learned in our Hulk rewatch, they all make the mistake of calling Hulk Bruce or Banner, which he hates.
Bruce.
We are not your enemies, Banner. Try to think!
Hulk redirects his rage to the fighter pilot, able to focus enough to stop the ejector seat. Think about it, Hulk was right to go for these pilots since they're the ones who fire the nukes. And Coulson tries to stop Loki with a weapon based on the Destroyer armor. Its barrel warms up similarly to the Destroyer. Now, Coulson resurrects in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. via Project Tahiti, but his death here was the failure that gives the Avengers something to avenge.
This was never gonna work if they didn't have something to
avenge! Fury rubs in that guilt with Cap trading cards that he creepily smeared Coulson's blood on. The card depicts Cap's first comic book appearance, reminding Cap that the kids who ravenously read the Hitler Punch Cap #1 included at some point in history a young Phil Coulson. And Banner meets this dude.
Are you an alien?
What?
Harry Dean Stanton played Brett in Alien, my favorite movie. Cap uses the glitchy Mark 6 armor to make Loki think he's on his last leg, but saving the Mark 7 armor as a surprise move. Notice how he also keeps his arms behind his back and stays behind barriers so that Loki hopefully won't notice his wrists were bare when he walked in.
What have I to fear?
The Avengers. Earth's mightiest heroes type thing.
Of course, Tony's quoting the Avengers tagline. And behind him on the bar is the framed photo of him and Pepper that was taken of them in Monaco in Iron Man 2. And they negotiate.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
There actually is a version of history in which Loki escapes thanks to Tony's clumsiness during the Time Heist in Endgame. Loki's scepter fails on Tony, fueling the theory that Tony's arc reactor is powered by Space Stone-derived tech that neutralizes the Mind Stone here. And Tony deploys the Mark 7 armor, and as the portal opens, note that Tony's heads-up display switches to all red to show his switch into offensive mode. Loki tricks Thor with sentiment and sticks him with a dagger. The same kind of move he tries to pull on Thanos in Infinity War. Doesn't work out too well. And Clint and Natasha bring up an interesting past.
Just like Budapest all over again.
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
Budapest is a location in the upcoming Black Widow movie, and we may finally learn what that mission was. Cap gives some orders to some cops. The younger one is the same actor who played Agent Sousa in Agent Carter. And throughout this battle are shots of a waitress, Beth, played by Ashley Johnson, Chrissy Siever from Growing Pains, and the voice of Ellie in The Last of Us. There was a lot of deleted scenes that showed Beth as a waitress that Cap had a crush on.
Table's yours as long as you like. Nobody's waiting on it.
Ask for her number, you moron.
And Banner returns, resumes being angry, and takes down the Leviathan to give them the hero shot so perfect they had to bring it back in Endgame. Tony shows maturity here by crediting others.
Thor's right, we gotta deal with these guys.
Call it, Captain.
And Cap learns that the best way to work with Hulk is to call him by his name.
And Hulk. Smash.
This battle showcases collaboration. Iron Man boosts Hawkeye to a rooftop, Hawkeye directs Tony to lure the Chitauri into a kill box, Cap's shield springs Natasha. Joss Whedon highlights the connection between all these heroes with a tracking shot. Tony and Natasha, Tony and Cap, Tony and Hawkeye, Hawkeye and Hulk, Hulk and Thor, and we never cut through this because the link between the Avengers is now unseverable, until Hulk severs it. Really, the best hits in this battle are taken by the demigods. Hulk says, "Puny God," as a way to up the ante, kinda bring it on to whatever gods may be watching. Tony evokes the tale of Jonah from the Bible, whom Jarvis quips is not the best role model. Jonah, if you think about it, got swallowed by a whale after throwing himself overboard to save his crew. So ironically, Jonah's sacrifice play does make him a good role model for Tony. And when he lands afterward, behind him is the shawarma restaurant, where they get lunch in the post-credit scene, and they deploy nukes.
Detonation in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Mark.
Time this, because exactly 2 minutes and 30 seconds later in the movie's runtime, the nuke detonates. Tony has a countdown timer in his heads-up display that stays consistent. Jarvis shows his evolving humanity by calling Pepper for Tony. The way Tony looks at her photo mirrors the way Cap looks at Peggy's photo when he made the sacrifice play. And the extreme close-up on Tony's eyes as he takes in the cosmos is later mirrored by the shot of Cap in Endgame the first time he leaves Earth's atmosphere. Alan Silvestri's dramatic music that builds up to Tony's moment of truth is actually later echoed exactly in Tony's moment of truth in Endgame.
Come on, Stark.
I am inevitable.
Right as Tony crosses through that portal, his descent accelerates since he's now suddenly within Earth's atmosphere and the force of gravity is stronger. Hulk roars him awake.
What just happened? We won.
These words are mirrored with an inverse exchange in Endgame.
Lost again. Tony, we lost.
In the news footage, Beth, the deleted waitress, shows up, along with Stan Lee, who plays chess in the same area where Magneto plays chess in X-Men The Last Stand. The file name in the corner is A113, the famous CalArts classroom that artists always sneak into movies. We see the Iron Man art in the Obey style from Iron Man 2, and criticizing them is Senator Boynton, who in the comics authorizes Project Firepower against Iron Man. Tony and Pepper review hologram plans for Avengers Tower, which include a garage for the Quinjet, and several logos Tony designed for each Avenger. The movie's post-credit scenes reveal the true villain of the Infinity Saga, Thanos.
To challenge them is to court death.
And his smile nods to Lady Death being Thanos' love interest and courting her being his motive for the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. But behind him is a planet cracked in half, visually foreshadowing his ultimate goal of wiping out half the universe. The second post-credit scene, of course, returns to the shawarma restaurant. Notice how Chris Evans is covering his face because he grew a beard for his next role in Snowpiercer. But the movie's official final image reveals the new Avengers Tower, which reflects this movie's deeper theme of redemption. Tony built this tower as a shrine to himself and his own towering pride, but its very existence gives Loki a key to unleash hell on the city. However, after learning how to collaborate, the Avengers avenge their failures into a key to their victory. And now, the symbol of Tony's folly has transformed into a symbol of his success. Once he was a Stark, now he is an Avenger. How does the Avengers rank for you in the MCU? Look folks, this is Infinity Saga Rewatch is moving on to phase 2, baby! Join our watch-alongs on Discord by becoming a patron at patreon.com/newrockstars. Comment down below with your thoughts, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Erik Voss, follow New Rockstars, and subscribe to this channel so that we can all together watch Tony Stark take some nut shots.